say that looks pretty good for a sword. They're combined together. You could also click on them both and then hit the Control G and put them in a group, and then they're not the same geometry, they're separate. Anyways, let's do a little really quick shading. This is primarily a modeling tutorial, but I'll show a great thing I did. I just want them to be the same shader, sort of silvery. So I'm going to go to assign new material, and a really good one I've found is Maya Material X. And we've got it there, and I want to add in a displacement mat, and I found, well, I can show you that with no displacement mat first. It already will look really good. Anyway, they have presets here. Chrome looks pretty awesome. Now you want to go over to Window. I don't know why you constantly need to be changing this, but Settings, Preferences, Plugin Manager, go down to Maya to Mental Ray, and that never seems to be loaded. So if you're me 1 month in, that knowledge right there made a huge difference. So we have it here, and I think that should already, I've already set mine up to render with Mental Ray, so you kind of get the idea what it's going to look like. I just have the one light in. What really works well with these is HDR lighting, and I'll show you how to set it up. I had problems with it for a long time, but I found I just wasn't really using the right HDR images. It wasn't working, so I actually was doing everything right. So that could be your problem if you've tried this and haven't been getting it to work. But anyways, you can choose your thing. Mental Ray is what I want to be editing with. I think I want this to be, let's do HD 720. And click on this and go to Indirect Lighting tab through Mental Ray, Image-Based Lighting, hit Create. And that'll set this up, but there's nothing in there. Most HDR maps are angular. There's definitely some spherical. It should say when you download them. There are some that are available for free. This one I just got for free. Let me just go. This is on my desktop. It should be toward the end. Probe HDR. And boom, it's in our scene, and it's actually lighting our scene, and it'll cast it in reflections which are built into the shader. So if we render this, if all goes well, you can see the image in the background, and that looks pretty cool already. And if here, using this, you can kind of go upstream and downstream. I have a lot of history on this right now. I'm going to delete history. And really, if you're not familiar with that, just, you can kind of go through all the things you've ever done to this, and sort of tweak those. So if I want to do like a random thing, it'll affect what it looks like. That affected it really weird. But unless often you don't need that, and it'll store that. So don't be too afraid of deleting that if your thing is looking how you want. Because you can always change it by moving around vertices and edges. So I'm going to delete history on that. And to get back into those settings I had, can be kind of tricky. Window Outliner, we'll have it here. If you go to Default Light Set, we have all our things here, just the one surface. Default Light Set, and you go Mental Ray BL, and go to your attribute editor, and there you have the settings. So I'm going to turn off my primary visibility, and same thing, but nothing in the background. Anyways, so one thing, I tried this before and I thought it looked fairly cool. Go to your material attributes. You can be doing all of this in Hypershade, but it's simpler and easier to just do it right in here. So click on this. I found the cloud works really well, and if you use a displacement mat, there's not really a bump mat built into this, but the displacement mat, what that'll do is actually generate a lot of new geometry. So it will take a little longer to render, but this is fairly low poly, so it shouldn't be an issue. It'll maybe add a little bit of render time. But anyway, so we can go upstream and downstream with this. I want to go back to the... Actually, really quick, I will just show you window, rendering editor, hyper shade. We'll have all your things. Where did it go? Window, rendering editor, hyper shade. Where is it? One second. And yeah, built in this, you can also tweak this, but I found that kind of the default settings work really well. Okay, so now we can go into our cloud, and this is going to be way too big. It's going to just look like tons of bumps and be jutting out way far. So I'll just turn this down a lot, and I'll probably turn down the amplitude quite a bit too, so you can barely even see it, but it'll just add a little bit of cool look to it. Let me see, that might even be a little much. Let me let it, you can see it's taking a little bit longer to render now, but it shouldn't be too horrible. And yeah, that looks like a bit much. I actually, to combine them, I would smooth out my handle using the smooth command, but then figure out a way to combine them and leave the other one. Let me see. So yeah, this is too much. Let me see how it looks on the handle in 1 second. You can see it's actually generating brand new geometry for it as opposed to a bump mat. So if we turn around in 3D, it actually has added edges. You can see these aren't straight. Bump map will make things look bumpy, but it will actually be a completely straight line when you go to it. Alright, okay, so the handle looks pretty cool. I would still turn it down a bit. It's a bit much, especially on the handle. But you can see kind of the look we're getting. It looks pretty cool. There's cool lighting. This is used to light our scene. We could even add other lights in there as well. For final settings, yeah, I'd probably set it much lower. But you can see in the detail in the handle, it doesn't look too bad. The sword is too bumpy. So that's one plus of keeping them separate. I mean, what you could also do is go to face and just select the faces that are the sword, and you can actually, this is really nice, make this its own material. And let's see, my material X, go into that, hit preset and make that chrome, and then I can go into the material attributes, and I want displacement shader. I want this down even more, and yeah, I will try to do a final render of this, and hopefully it will look awesome.